been 60 years since the Packers and Chiefs met down in Southern California in what would come to be known as the first Super Bowl. But now, at modern Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, we are counting down to Super Bowl 60. And we've got a great matchup in store. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Denver Broncos taking on the champions from the NFC, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. And this was a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I'd agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for in a Super Bowl team. Character, confidence. These guys don't lack for either one of those. Now they're here. Now they're ready to win.
Meanwhile, our NFC champions, they have gone through a lot to get where they are. Everybody knows their story this season. What's the key for them as they start this Super Bowl?
Let's go full cliche on this one because it works. Remember what got you here. Been a winning formula all season long. This is a team that when we saw them in the preseason, we said they look like a group that has what it takes to be a Super Bowl winning team. And we've been proven right by what we've seen throughout the season.
So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2018 draft, the Oklahoma Sooner, Baker Mayfield.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we are looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
14 yards there on a Buccaneer first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Mayfield off the play fake. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now a 2nd and 10. Play fake. Mayfield. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Going to the air again with Mayfield. He'll find his rookie wideout from Ohio State here. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 34-yard line. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
They'll stay on the ground with Irvin. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Mayfield looks to throw. That is caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Throwing. Mayfield. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and goal situation. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing.
Chris Godwin, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Buccaneers are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. That was a big throw right there on 3rd and goal.
And the defense has to be prepared for you to throw the ball on 3rd and goal. Because really, 2nd down, 2nd and goal, that's your play action time, and you're not sure whether they're going to run it or throw it. 3rd down, you're usually sure they're probably going to pass it. Even more impressive that they got it done. And on the opening drive of the game.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's Chris Godwin who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB.
And there are a lot of quarterbacks who had terrific careers. Think about guys like Phillip Rivers, Randall Cunningham, Dan Fouts, Warren Moon. But they never got to a Super Bowl. Yet here he is in his 2nd NFL season, already getting his chance. We harken back to Dan Marino. Another superstar made it in his 2nd year, lost the game, and never made it back again.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Denver has a 1st down on the 15-yard play.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Right back to Dobbins on 1st. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now it's Nix. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. To throw is Nix. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, out is the rookie 6th-round pick, Jeremy Crawshaw, to punt. As he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. In motion, left, Shepard. Now Mayfield. That's complete left side to Shepard. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
From the 21, here's 2nd down and 3. Mayfield to throw it. To the left side, he gets this one to Ibuka. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. They go play action. Mayfield. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And Godwin going to have a Bucs 1st down as he'll get this up to the 45-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. So after 2 1st downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Mayfield on play action. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw, Mayfield. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 22 yards there, a 1st down. And the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of the times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. Those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
That really sets them back. A loss of 6.
That was well defended right there. He saw the play in front of him and able to hold the point of attack. Then he sheds it and goes and makes a tackle for a loss.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Here's Mayfield. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Shepard. They'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Mayfield. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They wanted to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit of the first quarter.
Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great effort there. His second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Bucs will add to their first quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And we've got a lot more ahead of us here in Super Bowl 60. Second quarter coming your way next. 14-0 is our score. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we are back. Biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, and both teams ready for the start of the second quarter. And we are back and ready to go for the second quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. They'll get that complete to Franklin. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
Throwing Nix. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
On play action, here's Nix. He's got a man, it's his fullback. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
A short throw to Ingram. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Buccaneers' 34-yard line.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. To throw, here's Nix. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Jeremy Crawshaw
On fourth down, Jeremy Crawshaw on to punt. And that kick will go out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. He'll try and do this himself. And they get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Mayfield showing he can be fleet of foot, picking up the 1st down.
A gain of 22 yards. And a Buccaneer 1st down.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that 1st down pickup.
On 1st and 10, here's Irvin. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Shepard will go in motion right. Mayfield now. This is Shepard on the catch. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
Mayfield off the play fake. That's complete to his receiver, Gabriel. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That's good for a Buccaneer 1st, to pick up of 12 yards. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Mayfield from the gun on third down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Bucs first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
Well, they picked up 5, needed 4. So to me, you know what that translates back to? Situational football and how they've been teaching it probably since OTAs and minicamps. Going over situations, know what you need, and find a way to get it.
Baker going to give it to Irving. We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl. Now 2nd and 5. Mayfield looks to throw. Open man is Ibuka. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Irving will score. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Well, he's been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And it is now 21-0. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And Denver getting set to take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Nix to the air. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Rough incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Nix. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. Here's Jeremy Crawshaw now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going, too. You know, he's about ready to pop one here in the second quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those, too, because they want to continue to run the football. Most offensive linemen like that part of the game better than pass protection because they're not taking blows. They're actually dealing them out. So what they want to do is show the coaches, hey, if we pop one, we're having success. That way they won't go away from the running game.
He'll be hoping to pop one, break one here this go-around. Straight ahead, it's Irving. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Bucky Irving, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Buccaneers continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first two quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
McLaughlin for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up second down.
2nd and 6.
Now it's Nix. Got a man open, it's Sutton. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. As the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
To throw is Nix. Throw left side complete. That's Franklin. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Back to the air with Nix. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Buccaneers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start on the ground with Irving. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 66 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
It's 2nd and inches.
final play of the half. Mayfield. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick recap of the first half, which has been strongly one-sided. This is heading towards blowout territory unless they can come from behind and get themselves a victory. Let's find out what happens in the second half. Let's go back out to the commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scotty, thank you as always. Well, likely two very different halftime speeches by these head coaches, that's for sure, as we get set for half number 2. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. A little juke. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. And the Broncos offense set to begin this third quarter. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
Well, if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. Nix. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Nix. He targets Ingram for another grab. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
I don't care what sport you're playing, everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 31 yards there and a first down. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown Broncos. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Broncos are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. So that, Charles, their first score of the ballgame, obviously, coming here in the third quarter. Is that going to be enough to energize the troops?
It's a great question, and we'll wait to see the answer, but it's finally something for them to build on. Now they know that they can actually score against that defense.
Will Lutz on for the point after. He's got it to bring it back to 28-7 now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And Cortland Sutton able to finish things off with the touchdown reception. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
For the Broncos.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've got to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive, so you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
They'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at their 48-yard line.
From the 48-yard line, here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing, Mayfield. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Once again, it's Irvin. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Here's a handoff to Irving. Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. 113 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Well, lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Rashad White taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Bucs are starting to open things up here in this Super Bowl.
And maybe that's the magic touch right there. They didn't use him at all in the first half, at least running the football. But here they entrust him with some work down in the red zone, and he responds. 1 carry, 1 touchdown.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Buccaneers 35.
So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was Rashad White who wrapped the drive up with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Denver's offense now set to go. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
2nd and 11. And his throw here is incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Nix quickly into the hands of Mims. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. On the ground, it's Irving to start the drive. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. The guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
Now 2nd and 9. To throw, Mayfield. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. Just a gain of a couple there. 3rd and 7 now.
2 yards. And it's 3rd down.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Mayfield. And he is caught. Now he's loose again. Touchdown! Tampa Bay! Chris Godwin with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Buccaneers are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. McLaughlin for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's Chris Godwin who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Here's 2nd and 7. Nix from the shotgun. It's taken in by Franklin. And he's got this down to the 35. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. A nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3. At the 27-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 3. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Here's Nix once more. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Now, there's just one quarter that remains in this edition of the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, as we get set for the 4th quarter. And we're back in the Super Bowl. Time to decide who gets to hoist that Lombardi trophy as we begin the 4th and final quarter of action. To the sideline and incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. 3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. They'll try and throw. Here's Nix. And it's caught. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Lutz will look. And that'll cut the lead down to 28. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
He's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to...
Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Dre Greenlaw getting home on that one. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
The Bucs on third down. They've been automatic. How about 8 for 8 in the game thus far? This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now and he fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnover.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Evan Ingram, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. Well, it seemed like they were so focused elsewhere they forgot about the tight end spot, and he's the one that burns him there to make this a 3-score game here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
I think there might be a little bit of defensive fatigue from those guys on that side of the ball, partner, because they've been spending their time trying to stop them from all angles. This time the tight end gets them.
Lutz with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Get a look at receiver Chris Godwin as this offense returns for their next drive. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he was really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
A shotgun handoff here to Irving. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. From the gun, Mayfield. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Here's Riley Dixon now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Fielded at the 33. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. That is incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing Nix. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he's going to get get this all the way down inside the 35. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And the Broncos, first down. First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
A three-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they'll trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad.
Credit Yaya Diaby with a stop.
Brings up second and 9 at the Bucs' 33-yard line.
Ball at the 33, second and 9. Another run here with Dobbins. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 67 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
That's good for a Broncos first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
To throw, here's Nix. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. A great play there. His second touchdown in this Super Bowl. And the Broncos have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So the drive there took 6 plays. And Cortland Sutton able to finish things off with the touchdown reception. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The attention shifting back to Chris Godwin and the rest of the Tampa offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen the guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And what a tough spot for this defense, because they know it's coming, but they're just powerless to stop it. What a great run there to start the drive. And you can bet there'll be more where that came from as they try to ice this game away.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. There's a short one taken in by Otten. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 15 more yards there, and quickly another first down. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame him?
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them. trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 31-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Irvin. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out. We've got them now.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been tough to stop. 8 for 10 so far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run. And he loses the football a second time. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And Denver getting set to take the field. And their Super Bowl hopes are dwindling here in the 4th. That AFC crown from 2 weeks ago starting to seem like a distant memory. And this one just has not gone as they had hoped. Will go down as a gain of 6. And it's 2nd down.
Pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 34-yard line.
Looking to throw. Nix. He'll get that complete to Franklin. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Now they go screen. It's complete. 7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
And they've used him in the passing game to great effect so far. And here they get it to him again on the screen. And it turns into a nice positive play.
At the 48-yard line.
2nd down and 3. They'll look to throw again. Nick's going to keep this himself. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise them with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a 1st down. Gotta love that efficiency.
Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
31-yard line.
Now 2nd and 3. Nix to the air. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Nick's going to keep this himself, and the pressure gets to him again. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. They're going. It's Nix. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
That's another Broncos first.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have won the Super Bowl, and they will hoist the Lombardi Trophy to cap an amazing season. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
So that'll conclude another captivating season of the NFL on EA Sports. So for Charles Davis and all the hardworking men and women on our crew,